last night. This will also be my stream of the day. Hopefully it goes good over this Wi-Fi. I think we're better than the data since it is pretty fast Wi-Fi down here. But yeah, just gonna go read through Malcolm lines, highlight them last night, and then the first reading. Probably the only stream of the day, unless depending how things go tonight. Do a late night stream, but definitely good for good Tuesday tomorrow. So look forward to it. And let's get to just a little bit of that for now, and we'll figure out the rest in good time. A little cold out. It stopped raining. I'm gonna get some snow. I think in the mountains here soon. It'll be great. Not the best angle. I just have it on a chair here, a little bottle, but good enough for our purposes. Let's take a look here for some Malcolm lines. They have the No Fear Shakespeare direct translation for the common English, so I'll probably read just that first translation or read the character description. I don't think we really need to read much of the translation, but maybe just for this first line here we have Act 1, Scene 2. After Duncan, the newest state. This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! State to the king the knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it. Just one example of the translation for that we have. This is the brave sergeant who fought to keep me from being captured. Hail, brave friend! Tell the king what is happening in the battle when you left it. Much less fancy and reverent way to say it, so I'm really enjoying the original language much more. I've always kind of felt a natural knack for it when I took the Shakespeare class and other things, so I think we'll just stick with that. And if they want to explore, the translation, I'll be on board with them, like our mini exercises we did yesterday for the first meeting. But good fun. Hopefully, broadcast is stable. Turn on Do Not Disturb mode. Should be okay. I see the viewer count there. At least that's a good way. Keep track. There's an early way for me to test it. I could have borrowed someone else's phone or tablet, I guess, but I didn't really think of it until I already went live. So next time I'll do that. But for now, if nothing else, it's a good selection. Practice a bit of that. Hopefully, it's working. Worked fine for the melodrama that was on data. Thinking it's fine for this Wi-Fi connection too. Guess I could go get a phone or tablet. I just like to make sure stuff's working, but it's more important when we're doing actual direct captures. I can always do this, so when we're actually doing other people in the stream, that's more important to test, I feel like. So, we're fine for now. When it's just me, I can always recreate this if it doesn't work out, so let's carry on. That was just the first one there before the captain. Yeah, it's I mean, both pages has the translation, so it'll be a little hard to get used to. It's not traditional script, but I'll get used to it in time. Who comes here, says Duncan, the worthy Thane of Ross. It's quite a while. So it's other business, close to the murder. Here we go. My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle. Just get a little familiar with what we'll do to first read through tonight with all my fellow cast and also should be just fine. Let's see. Waste the battery if the stream doesn't work, but that's the tricky thing IRL streams. It says it's live, not actually guaranteed to be live. Don't have the direct Discord method to test. And if I do even Alt-Tab and go to the windows, it probably end the stream or end it without me knowing, so it's not worth it. It's a tricky time. I did miss one here. Let me get my highlighter. I did miss a highlight. Remember it twice. Indeed, miss one here. Act 2, Scene 3. Malcolm Macduff and the Mimic. I just want to put his. Oh, you fixed it? Yeah. Great. Hey, yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. You're welcome. I love you. Alright, it's one of our stream donations. Alright, Malcolm, we actually have a little one between Macduff and Lennox. It's a brief one, but good to notice it nonetheless. Your royal father's murdered, says Macduff. I say, oh, by who? Mm-hmm. Who did it? It's the translation. Some funny translations, I think they kind of do it unnecessarily silly language, but they try to make it fun, just like no. Okay, Macduff looked at the lady, Malcolm aside to Donalbain. Why do we hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours? Our tears are not yet brewed, Malcolm said to Donalbain, nor our strong sorrow, upon the foot of motion. That's all one continuous sentence. Translation helps you with some of the phrasing too, like the momentum of the lines, because you think maybe that's two because it has a capital. That's just how it's written. Really, it capitalizes the start of every line. That doesn't mean it's a whole new thought or anything. That's another thing Shakespeare gotta learn. Okay, what will you do? Let's not consort with them to show an unfelt sorrow in an office, which the false man does easy. All to England. This murderous shaft that's shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's a warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left. What's that? Original text, modern text. Good stuff. What can I find here? All right. Let's get the next one. England, then, yeah, it's quite a while since we visited them. England, so I get a bit of a break in between there since I don't believe I'm playing any secondary characters. So I know. Lord. Yeah, I'm heading out here pretty soon. No time prepared today, but enough time to go through this for sure. Just my part. I didn't take as long to read all the characters, that's for sure. That takes considerably more time to just read your character. Quite the difference there. Forcing through, come back. Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty. What I believe, I'll wail. What know, believe, and what I can redress. As I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant, whose soul my name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb, to appease an angry god. But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon, that which you are. My thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so. Perchance even there, where I did find my doubts, why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave taking, I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think. Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer and more sundry ways than ever, by him that shall succeed. Because it's such a long play, 5 acts, I don't know if I'll be able to really stream it in its entirety unless I have a mobile charger or such. So hopefully we can do some here and there, but for the actual performance, probably look forward to the DVD or such. Most likely. Okay. It is myself I mean, in whom I know all that particulars of vice so grafted, that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms. I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desire. All continent impediments would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such an one to reign. It's a good one. Yeah, it is a good one. We'll have to explore. Really define that one well. But just here initially, trying to get the main thought across. Okay. Yeah, OBS, and that works for mobile, of course. Is it working? There's no way to tell. It's a test. So. I was thinking, stream the rehearsal tonight, but that's hard to do in a brand new cast, and you're not really familiar and such. It's good to ask permission, I feel like. We had a lot of contracts things agree with for harassment, stuff like that, so probably part of that, even though it wasn't specifically stated, would be to film without permission. People like to be in their own space, to explore the text and all that, so a lot of them are meeting for the first time. It's not a good idea to just film without asking, I think. Stream. With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a stanchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth. Yeah, hopefully we are... Okay, got plenty of time for now. Head out a bit early, but yeah, not too long. Probably after I finish this. But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth. If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken. Yeah. Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself for thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taint and blames I laid upon myself. For strangers to my nature I am yet, unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely was coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Well, more anon. Come the king forth, I pray you. I thank you, doctor. 'Tis called the evil, a most miraculous work in this good king, which often since my here remain in England I have seen him do. How he solicits heaven himself best knows, but strangely visited people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, he cures, hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and 'tis spoken. To the succeeding royalty he leaves. Yeah, that's one of my. Continue on. I can tell that from the comma, I guess. I don't really need to mark that. And 'tis spoken. To the succeeding royalty he leaves the healing benediction. With this strange virtue he hath a heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace. My countryman, but yet I know him not. I know him now. Good God, be times remove the means that makes us strangers. What's the newest grief? Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men, an old and a better soldier none, that Christendom gives out. Merciful heaven, what man never pull your hat upon your brows, give sorrow words, the grief that does not speak, whispers the overfraught, heard and bids it break. Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of great revenge, to cure this deadly grief. Dispute it like a man. Be this the whetstone of your sword, let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it. This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king, our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above. Put on their instruments, receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day. Yeah. There, prepare for the confrontation. Hope to stream about an hour here. Just hard to tell if it's really working or not. So, that one viewer is accurate. Please pop in chat for me. I'm trying to make sure if this Wi-Fi works. I'll test it when we get more people around, other Wi-Fi's, other data. But at least for this home Wi-Fi, trying to make sure it's actually working. It's hard to tell on mobile streams. But we did go from 0 to 1s. Could be an indication. Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe. Let every soldier hew him down a bough, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery err in report of us. Yep, now a few, good to go. 'Tis his main hope, for when there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve it with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too. Now near enough, your leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon's what else remains to do, according to our order. Uh, we have met with foes that strike beside us. Enemies fight as if they're trying not to hurt us. That's a good translation. Beth Macduff. And I would the friends we miss were safe arrived. Macduff is missing, and your noble son. And that I'll spend for him. We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you, my thanes and kinsmen. Henceforth be earls, and first that ever Scotland in such an honoured name. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So, thanks to all at once and to each one, whom we invite to see us crown at Scone. Or Sown. I don't know if it's Scone or one would be Sown. Well, that's what we figure out. Anyway, let's see if that worked, and we can do a longer one next time. We'll see you possibly tonight, but definitely tomorrow, and it will be good to go. So, until then, figure it out. Catch you very soon. Hard to tell, yeah. These mobile streams gotta have someone to test it most of the time, but nice day here. We'll go from there. Good rehearsal. Return to time being. All right, catch you then. See you in a bit.